What's up, Rasmanites? It's time to review MLB 13, the show. Today, on the Rasman's Reality. Sorry to those of you who keep up with things from the beginning of this channel and are wondering where the pickup video was for this, and that I'm skipping straight to the review this year. The reason was because I didn't get this on opening day of release like I normally do. I was supposed to. It got picked up for me, but then the person that picked it up for me looked down and realized that they were in a rush to leave after work. They work at Walmart, so that's where they get everything, because they get a discount. So they were in a rush to leave after work and realized that they mistakenly picked up MLB 2K13, which, Lord knows, I'm not going to play that crap fest of a game. So, upon trying to exchange it, she realized that her store was completely out of the show, because the idiots decided, oh, let's take one of the best sellers on PlayStation, one of the most exclusive games that they have that sells well every year, and let's only order 3 of them. Yep, that's right. They only ordered 3 of them, and all 3 of them sold out at midnight on Tuesday morning, release day. So I had to wait for the next shipment to come in. So I've just now been able to play this game for about 3 or 4 days straight. So I decided that because I'm a week behind, the best thing to do was just go into the review this year. So, with the knowledge that the PS4 is now coming at holiday season, and this will be the last game exclusively for the PlayStation 3 as the most high-end production console, is MLB 13 the show worth it, or is it just a glorified roster update? Well, to my surprise, it is not the latter. It is extremely, extremely worth the upgrade. Matter of fact, I think this is the best show of all time. The first thing that you see when you pop in the game is that the presentation has been completely overhauled. Now, I said that about last year's game, and it was true. However, they took all the elements from last year's game and wrapped them up to a whole nother level. On opening day, you see the players lined up on the sidelines with their hats off to be introduced, the bench players along with the manager, and then you see the starting lineup sitting there and being focused on during the opening ceremonies. On every game during the regular season, you see the team introduced and the starting lineup walking from the dugout. And new to the broadcast team this year, replacing Dave Campbell and his dry commentary that added nothing to the game, is one of the best commentators of all time in baseball video game history. A man who hasn't been heard from since the highly successful, now non-existent, EA Sports MVP Baseball, Psycho Steve Lyons. So, automatically, this game feels like a better game. Then you get to what is available both in franchise and season mode, as you would expect, but also has its own mode just in case people are impatient and want to check it out right away, and that is the brand new postseason of the show. The postseason has been completely overhauled this year. You see new music, different presentation screens highlight of each starting pitcher as they warm up in the bullpen, and for the first time ever, you have a complete celebration when winning a playoff game. Celebrations are unique and exciting, and when you win the World Series, the entire field goes crazy, the crowd goes crazy, the crowd noise is more amped up, and you see the presentation of the World Series trophy to the winning team. So, much like Madden and other successful sports franchises, the show is finally caught up to making it feel like winning the World Series truly means something. And in almost regular season and postseason, you have the commentators actually paying attention to what the team is doing now more so than ever. They talk about the strengths and weaknesses of the team, as well as talk about what the team has done. Like, for instance, right now, my team, the Reds, of course, are on a 4-game winning streak. And so, with each new game that I win, they talk about the fact that I'm still winning and what I've been able to do to successfully maintain that winning streak. So the game is just incredibly improved overall. The only bad thing I can say about it is that Psycho Steve Lyons is really the only commentator that truly improved. While Matt Vasgersian and Eric Karros follow the action pretty well, their commentary is pretty much the same as it was a year ago. It's Psycho Steve Lyons' energy that makes it feel like a better game. Vasgersian and Karros seem somewhat disconnected at times, even though Karros has way more to say than he did a year ago. Fans of franchise mode will notice the next big change in the series, and that is that franchise mode is more realistic now than ever, once again taking cue from other successful sports titles like Madden NFL and NBA 2K, where you now have all the elements necessary to make your franchise a success. You have the ability to take a small market team, and if you're able to keep winning and keep stringing together games, you'll get higher attendance, which will give you more budget to play around with in order for you to make that one big free agent signing or keep your biggest player. The other thing that this change directly affects is the fact that you now actually physically scout players. You have 4 scouts that you can assign to each specific region, and look for a specific type of player. And this is important because only certain players, the top players in the country that everybody's going to be looking at, have already been pre-scouted. So if you want to find the next Ryan Hannigan, for example, a diamond in the rough, low in the draft that's been a key cog important to his team, you're going to have to do some work. And that is a rewarding experience for every hardcore baseball fan. Diamond Dynasty is pretty much the same, so I don't have a lot to say about that. I think that mode will be dramatically improved probably on PlayStation 4. So, the final big improvement of MLB 13 show is that they've actually made improvements on what has been their best mode year in and year out. Anyway, MLB Road to the Show. What makes this year's game different is twofold. Number one, there is a brand new fielding camera that follows the player specifically from his position the entire time. So if you like to play the outfield, the camera has been switched to behind you, so you get a first-person view. This takes a little bit of getting used to, but it actually makes fielding better because you can follow the flight track on the screen and follow the ball into your glove a lot easier than before. And also new to this year's game is that you can actually hit R2 when going around the bases, and you can see the third base coach who will either tell you to hold up or keep running. So it allows you to make much better and much more realistic base running decisions. So all of these dramatic improvements are a welcome sight for already the best exclusive sports game in the entire genre. So I give, especially considering that this is the last game in which this is the highest hardware available to the game makers, I give MLB 13 The Show an absolute 5 out of 5. The best exclusive sports franchise on the planet just keeps getting better and better. For those of you that are really interested in my personal experiences, once the final roster update comes through for opening day, I will be chronicalizing both my franchise and Road to the Show experiences online, either on my soon-to-come, hopefully by the end of this week or the beginning of next week, RazMansReality.com, or on the site that I've worked for now for a while as a contributor, Geeky.com. So you can stay tuned for details on that. As always, don't forget to check out the official sponsors of this program and channel, Handi Enterprises Inc., your productivity and communication specialist. I'm head of their social media division, which means I oversee everything that happens for them directly, social media wise. So if you help them out, you help me out. And also, if this happened to be the first ever episode of the Razman's Reality that you ever saw, don't forget to hit that subscribe button that popped up on your screen and subscribe and become a Razman. I'm sure you will not be disappointed. This is reality according to the Razman, and Razman style is not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.